Good morning. It is Saturday today. I'm having myself just a nice slow morning. The family is out of town right now, so it's just me. I've been solo all week. Decided I would kind of take it easy this morning and make some breakfast and then probably do some studying because I have an exam coming up here in about 2 weeks. So I want to be prepared for that, as well as my master's. I also started studying for another certification on top of that. So I definitely have a lot going on right now. I've got the time this morning, so I'm going to do that. So probably do this, do some studying, and go to the gym at some point to take a nice break from the study. I've got some pre-cooked smoked chicken, some kimchi. I'll do some eggs and probably do some English muffins with that. You know how they say, like, you can't outrun a bad diet or you can't outtrain a bad diet? Well, when I was doing all the Ironman training, like, I could eat pretty much as much junk as I wanted. Like, I wasn't eating junk all the time, but I would definitely have some late night snacks. Also, I wore this microphone specifically because I thought maybe it wouldn't pick up the birds as much, but I can see like the audio indicator spiking up as they're making a lot of noise, so they're always noisy in the morning. But anyway, when I was training for the Ironman stuff, I could pretty much eat whatever I want. I would still eat healthy for the most part, but I would definitely have some like late night snacks more often. Whether it be like going and grabbing some crumble cookies or like some fried mozzarella sticks, those type of things. And my wife was also training for ultras, so she would be craving a lot of food too. And I was pretty much stage lean by the end of my Ironman. I want to say I was about 206, which when I stepped on stage, I was maybe 202, 203. So pretty close to about the same. And I was crazy lean. So I guess to some degree you can outtrain some bad diet. But now that I'm not running as much, or cycling or swimming, I've noticed that I can't eat like that. I'm just not burning as many calories, and that's fine. I just don't have myself as many snacks. Currently, I'm sitting right around 215, which is kind of where I tend to sit anyway when I'm not doing crazy amounts of cardio. Around 215, 220 when I'm hitting the gym pretty regularly and working on building up strength. So pretty typical there. Still fairly lean, but able to perform a little better when it comes to strength functions. So the weightlifting, you definitely start to see the weights go up on some of the movements a little easier and that kind of thing. It's just hard to consume enough food and proper calories, so getting enough protein and everything when you're doing so much cardio. It's possible, it's just difficult. So a lot easier to gain strength when you're not doing tons of cardio. It just depends on, what your preference is. What do you want to train for at the moment? So currently keeping in some cardio a little bit. I'd say anywhere from a 5K to a 10K distance on running. Definitely more limited on the 10Ks. And then hopping on the bike for about 45 minutes to an hour and 15 minutes every now and then as well. I'd probably say I'm doing cardio anywhere from 3 to 4 times a week right now, maybe. And then I am lifting 3 days on, 1 day off, 3 days on, 1 day off. Which I've really been liking that schedule. There are some days where I feel like I haven't fully recovered from like a brutal egg day or something like that. But for the most part, I feel pretty good. It's really difficult to cook and do a video at the same time. But these high fiber tortillas are really good for trying to get extra fiber in. I've noticed that like when I don't go out of my way and do these kinds of things, I don't get that much fiber in. I don't know. Maybe I need to just get more fruits and veggies, but even like the highest fiber vegetables, you have to eat quite a bit in order to get a good amount of fiber in. So throwing in those high fiber tortillas or these high fiber wraps is a pretty good way to boost that fiber intake. Also, picked up this new shirt. It's pretty sweet. It's got a T-Rex with a rocket launcher riding a shark. What's not to like about that? It's the new Ghost drop. They dropped their basics, so like creatine, digestive enzymes. They've already had the fish oil and stuff, but they added that to their, I don't know, basic collection or whatever. And so I did pick up some creatine. It is just creatine monohydrate, and it has one other thing in there. I'll have to check in a minute. But it's unflavored, so it's just more simple, a little cheaper. I don't know if they're going to stop their regular size. I've noticed that they were out of several flavors because I had ordered some more about a week ago, and they were out of a lot of the stuff. All they had left, I think, was unflavored and sour watermelon. So they were out of the mango and the cherry limeade, which I do like the flavored stuff. It tastes really good, so you could just drink it on its own and get some more. I don't know, it helps me get more water in. But I figured I'd give the new stuff a try. All right, so this is what we've got here for breakfast. 2 scrambled eggs, high fiber tortilla, kimchi, smoked chicken, an English muffin with some peanut butter. I'd say lately my focus has really just been more on overall health, good gut health, getting plenty of protein in, just trying to stay healthy. So I'm going to finish this up, and then, I did forget, I want to prep some protein ice cream this morning for snacks later, and then I'll get to the studying. All right, so finished breakfast, gonna get that protein ice cream made. Not gonna share that in this video. I do have another video where I did that if you're interested in what I'm talking about if you didn't see it. But yeah, here's the new basics from Ghost. This is 50 servings of creatine. Like I said, it was a little bit cheaper. And the other item that was in here was estrogen. And then I also picked up the digestive enzymes. As far as what I'm taking right now, so I just picked those up. I've got my cabinet here of supplements and snacks. Always have to have snacks around. A bunch of Quest chips, protein bars, and Sour Patch, Sour Strips, all kinds of gummies for pre-workout, some pretzels too. So I've got my Ghost Legend, that's their pre-workout. I've got their size. I have some multivitamins. I've been taking BPN Strong Multi. I've got Omega and Ashwagandha from Revive. I really like BPN and Revive as well as Ghost. Their Revive makes a lot of good stuff for like, I don't know, like they've got their Omegas, they've got their multivitamins, they've got like digestive health, they've got like gut health, cortisol stuff. So a bunch of like random stuff to help kind of keep you balanced out. So every once in a while, I'll throw some of that into my routine. But usually the go-tos are BP and a Ghost. And then this is still out on my counter, but I tend to have some Go One More Sport. It is essentially carbs and electrolytes. So a good amount of sodium, good amount of carbohydrates. I use that as like an intra-workout or like post-run kind of thing, or if I'm cycling, sometimes I'll throw that in there. And then the last thing that I'll keep around is some of these element packs. This is just a ton of electrolytes, and so if I don't need the extra carbs, I'll go with that instead of the Go One More. So yeah, gonna make that ice cream, and then gonna get that study in it.
should let go. I should let go.
So this is my first movement of the day. Very heavy movement, focused on quads. So you get a nice deep squat. I prefer this over like a barbell squat, just because it's more supportive. You got your pad behind you. So hack squat's a great alternative to like barbell squat. But yeah, your working sets should be extremely tiring. You shouldn't be reaching like your max number that you have set for yourself for your sets. So like say if you're targeting like 6 to 8 reps, if you're hitting 8 reps for every set, you're not going heavy enough. You need to put more weight on the bar and make it a little bit more, a little tougher for yourself.
I should let
Alright, so primary quad movement done, hack squats. After the big movement like that, I like to give my quads or whatever muscle I'm working for that day a little rest. So for instance, today is my quad primary day, do my big quad workout, and now I'm going to switch over to a little bit of hamstring work before I go back to quads. Do the same thing for my hamstring dominant day, except for throw in a quad movement to give the hamstrings a quick rest before I move back on the hamstrings. Just because when you're working that heavy weight, high load, it feels good to give it a few minutes of rest and work something else. Also, I don't like the feeling of like having hit just like entirely quads for one day. My legs just feel a little goofy afterwards, so I like to have a little bit of hamstring work in too.
I said let go.
Alright, so moving on to a quad movement next, finish up the stiff leg deadlifts. I like to use these wedges. If you don't have these, you can use just like a plate underneath your heel or something like that. But just gonna do like a single leg split lunge and gonna do kind of like a drop set into that.
I said let go.
So yeah, brutal set. 12 reps total each leg, and around 8 reps I dropped one of the dumbbells to decrease the load a little bit. So yeah, I like to use 2 dumbbells so I can lighten up. I only do 2 sets of this, and on the second set I'll go a few extra reps with no dumbbells at the end.
I said let go.
Alright, last movement of the day is going to be leg extension, so isolating the quads and finishing them off. So nice and slow movement at the end. I'll do is finish with some partial reps, meaning I won't be able to get it extended all the way, so I'll extend it as far as I can. Nice, smooth, controlled for a couple extra partials at the end. And then that'll be it.
I said let go. I said let go. I said let go.
Alright, solid workout, really good leg day. It's my favorite leg day. I love training quads. I love the hack squat. I don't know, it's just one of those movements where I feel like I can put a lot of weight on and make pretty good progress, but also like it just makes me feel like I've worked really hard, and I don't know, I just, for whatever reason, I just really like that movement in my leg days. But anyway, I really think that we all have more to give than we think we do. You know, I didn't always enjoy training for the sake of training. When I first got started, like my main goal was like to just get some abs. Like that was what I wanted. I didn't have anything like outside of that pushing me. I just, wanted to get a little bit stronger, wanted to be able to maintain like my physical standards for the military, be able to do push-ups, the running, and that kind of thing, and just be fit. So mostly just pure vanity, and then a little bit of practicality with being able to pass the fitness test. But at some point along the way, like I learned to enjoy the process of just challenging myself and pushing myself and getting a little bit better and seeing that growth, that improvement over time. And I just really learned to enjoy that feeling and that process. So my fitness journey hasn't always looked the same. It hasn't always had the same goals and the same endpoints. I've trained for different things over the years, especially in the last couple of years, a lot of endurance training with the marathon and the Ironman, which were enjoyable in their own way, but it wasn't something that, I don't know, it's just another way to challenge myself and to see how far I could go, to see how fast I could do it, to see how much I could improve on those areas. And that's just one of the things that I've learned to enjoy, is how to challenge myself like that. And finding those little one-off things, like finding a marathon that I want to do, or a bodybuilding competition or one of those things. I like to have those like short-term goals, if you will, to be able to push myself a little harder for a certain period of time. And right now, like I don't have anything that I'm specifically training for. Right now, I'm just training to train, and I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying not having to do specific stuff all the time. So, like I said, I've really like my goals and my endpoints have changed over time, and my view on fitness has changed from like a purely vain standpoint to more of a like I want to be healthy. I want to live a nice healthy life where I am still able to do stuff into my 60s, into my 70s, into my 80s, where I can be able to spend time with my kids, whether that's going on hikes with my grandkids, all those kinds of things. I don't want people to have to take care of me when I age as much as possible. And there's a lot of studies behind having good cardiovascular health, having good muscle mass, those kinds of things being able to support that kind of lifestyle even in your older age. So that's a lot of my big reasoning right now for why I continue to train. And then just along the way, I like to throw in the little challenges like Ironman to see how far I can go at this point. But I know that doesn't look the same for everybody. Not everybody has that same amount of time or capacity to be able to train like that, and not everybody has the same aspiration to be able to do those kinds of things. But I do think it is really important to be able to have, you know, some little bit of cardiovascular health, some bit of muscle mass, for health and longevity purposes, as well as for like mentality benefits. It's so easy to just sit in a area of comfort and where we're not chasing growth or chasing something to better ourselves. I know it feels like at times like we're always working, grinding hard to get to the next thing or whatever. And it doesn't necessarily have to be to get to the next thing. It can just be always constantly working. And there is time, I think, where you need to let yourself relax a little bit and just enjoy life. But that shouldn't be the standard. We shouldn't just coast through life. We shouldn't just seek to be the same. Like we should be trying to improve regularly, whether that's physically, mentally, in all these different facets of our lives, instead of just being complacent and trying to get through life. I know things can be really tough, especially right now. A lot of uncertainty in like job markets and all that kind of thing. I've faced a lot of that myself as well. So yeah, I don't know. I just want to try to be an encouragement to everybody, help bring maybe a little bit of inspiration, motivation into your lives, and to challenge you guys a little bit to try to get that growth. Get yourself outside of that comfort zone. That's really where we see improvements in our lives, is when we feel uncomfortable. One of my favorite quotes right now is from Socrates, and he says, "It's a shame for a man to grow old without seeing the beauty and strength of which his body is capable," or something along those lines. And I think that's true. Like we should always be striving for that improvement to see what we are capable of. You know, not everybody's going to be able to achieve the same things, and that's part of what makes us unique, and it gives your life that different perspective. So you don't have to chase the same things that I'm chasing after. You don't have to go out and do an Ironman. You don't have to step on a bodybuilding stage. Just seek personal improvement in whatever it is that you're trying to do. So right now, my big area that I'm working on is not the physical side of things. It's really a lot of mental. So I'm working on my master's degree, which is a lot of extra work right now. If you're not familiar with what I do, I work in the cybersecurity industry. And so I'm getting my master's from a company called SANS. And primarily before, they did just like a bunch of certifications. And eventually they grew into the education realm, and now they have like a master's and all these different but yeah, each class is about 3 months long, and it has a final exam at the end of it. There's a few like one-offs where it's just like a research paper or something along those lines. But for the most part, the classes are 3 months long. You have to take an exam at the end. So I'm coming up on my first exam, and then the goal is to get through 3 classes at least this year. That's kind of like their minimum that they have people strive for, is at least 9 credit hours a year. So I have to try to get through 3 of those, one every 3 months. And then I'm on top of that, I also started working towards another certification in the cybersecurity industry. And so I've started this training course on top of those. Hopefully by the end of this year, I will have those 3 classes done, as well as that extra certification. And that would just be like a huge game changer for me, like mentally, to be able to perceive, like, I don't know, that much, attaining that much in a single year is huge. In the past, like for example, in the past, I've maybe done 1, maybe 2 max certifications in a year. So taking on 4 is huge. And if you're in the cybersecurity industry, you definitely know what I'm talking about. So yeah, chasing that mental growth and really pushing myself in that capacity, while also just still trying to maintain my physical health. And yes, I'm still trying to get improvements, like still trying to get a little bit stronger, faster, those kinds of things. But my main focus area is in that mental growth. But with that, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the video here. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you, as always, for watching my videos. I really appreciate the support that I get. If you enjoyed it, please like the video, comment, and share. All those things help me grow the channel. Thanks again for watching the video, and I will catch you guys in the next one.